Absolute bedlam this past weekend over in Bundesliga as both Bayern and Leverkusen both lost. Goodness gracious me. And Mainz are well and truly in the top three race. What am I talking about? Well, I'll show you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video today. It's all about match number 26. That's right, over in Germany. And we'll get to it in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to subscribe for Blackburn Rovers, Champions League, Bundesliga, World Football. We're going to all here under one Ruski. Good. Nobody wants it. Nobody bloody wants it. Bayern threw it away in their game, as did Bayer Leverkusen. Goodness gracious me. Open up the door for maybe someone else to maybe breaking this up too. I don't think that's going to happen, but advantage Mainz right here, right now, moving into that top four with a massive win this past weekend. What am I talking about? Well, I'll show you in a minute. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are, and if you're new, again, hit the old subscribe, boys and girls. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit the last round of games and then look forward to this weekend's drama. Sit tight, hold on. Here we go. Right, folks, here we are. Those results from this last weekend action. Of course, my boys got absolutely tonked by Mainz. 3-1 winners in the end. I went with the home win. Holstein Kiel and Stuttgart with a 2-2 thriller. I went with an away win there. Leverkusen did lose to Werder Bremen. Goodness gracious me, 2-0 loss as their season's about to fall to bits. Dortmund also losing to Augsburg. What's going on? And then Bayern losing to home to Bochum. 3-2 win in the end. Meanwhile, Wolfsburg and St. Pauli drew 1-1. So absolutely stonking predictions by me so far. But the final three games, I am recording this ahead of those final three games. Hopefully, some of those results will go my way. But at the minute, the table looks a little bit like this, guys. And as you see, it's pretty much as you were at the top. Mainz closing in on them. Frankfurt also doing their thing as well. Going down, Heidenheim still in a bit of a shit zone. We'll see if that changes this week. And then, shall we, of course, don't forget to do your thing on the Prediction League. I cannot give you an update right now. Hope to give you one very, very soon. But we are now looking forward to these games. And like I said, I am recording this ahead of Sunday's games on the 9th of March. So bear that in mind when I read out the stats and the form and all kind of stuff. But hopefully we haven't too much disruption. I'm going to start it all off with St. Pauli's visit of Hoffenheim coming at you on Friday, the 14th of March. Is that right? That's right. In the Minotaur Stadion. That's right. Alexander Blesin's boys still struggling. 15th for the table, 22 points for the season. I guess Hoffenheim under Christian Ilsner unbeaten now in the last three as of right now. 13th for the table, 25 points for the season. Now they played 6 times since 2007, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Last time around over at St. Pauli in competitive action, it was a 1-0 win for Hoffenheim way back in August 2010. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for St. Pauli at Hoffenheim back in November. St. Pauli picking up the win. St. Pauli picking up the draw against Wolfsburg. That was, of course, today. Hoffenheim beat Bochum last time around. They're taking on Heidenheim this weekend, so we don't know what's going on with that. We'll, of course, reflect that in the scorelines there. Meanwhile, the odds for this one is quite tight. St. Pauli actually got the upper hand on the bookies' odds on this one. I'm going with a 1-0 win as well, following the bookies' trend to see where that goes. 1-0 winners, St. Pauli taking it to the house. Meanwhile, Union Berlin, they're taking on Bayern, of course, coming to this coming Saturday at the Alte Altenforsterei. Union Berlin and Stefan Gampgart, 3 defeats on the spin, 14th for the table, 23 points for the season as of right now. Up against Bayern, Vinny Company's boys on the back of a defeat, 67% form, but they're still tip at the top of the table, and they'll be tip at the top of the table no matter what. Even if they lose this 52-0, they'll still be top. They played 12 times since 2009, nothing for Union Berlin, 9 wins for Bayern. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Berlin, it was a 5-1 win for Bayern way back in April 2024. Of course, Bayern have won, 4 in the spin against them, scoring 8, 9, 12 goals in the last 4 games, averaging 4 goals a game, I believe, or 3 goals a game. They've only conceded 1 goal against Berlin. They're coming into this, though. Union Berlin have yet to play their match. They're taking on Frankfurt tomorrow. Expected to lose that game. Of course, Bayern losing to Bochum. But they've got a busy week this week with Leverkusen in the Champions League, so it might be a little bit of focus on that. Maybe that affected the team news for this one. Excuse me. Bayern, of course, expected to win this game. Of course, they are. They'll get back to it anyways, 2-1 win. But it could be a very interesting week in the dynamic of German football. Meanwhile, Mainz are flying high right now, taking on Freiburg under Bo Henriksen. They've won 4 on the spin. They are 3rd as of right now. Freiburg on the flip side under Julian Schuster are 5th. They're also unbeaten in at least the last 6. They played 46 times since 1997. 16 wins Mainz, 15 wins Freiburg. There's been 15 draws. Last time around over at Mainz, it was a 1-0 win for Freiburg way back in December 2023. 3 of the last 4 have ended up as a draw. Freiburg are unbeaten, though, in the last 6 against Mainz. Mainz picking up that 3-1 win over Gladbach. Freiburg did draw with Augsburg, but again, they're taking on somebody as I'm recording this right now, taking on Leipzig. They're actually level pegging in that game, and it's very close to full time, so it could be another point in the bag for Freiburg. Meanwhile, the odds for this one is a quite tight one, but mine are fancied. This could be imagine them in Champions League next season. I'm going with a 2-0 win for Mainz over Freiburg, but they do look good as well, so that could also end up all square. We'll see. Meanwhile, Augsburg, they're going to be taking on, who are they going to be taking on? They're going to be taking on Wolfsburg over at the WWK Arena. Jesse Top's boys, 58% form, unbeaten in the last 5, 11th in the table, 35 points for the season. Up against Wolfsburg, Ralf Hasenhüttl's just one loss in the last 6. They sit 6th, 38 points for the campaign. They played 29 times since 2008, 10 wins Augsburg, 8 wins Wolfsburg, 11 draws. Augsburg picking up a 3-1 win. And 3-2 win, sorry. Last time they played over at Augsburg back in October 2023. The reverse fixture, a 1-1 draw at Wolfsburg back in November. Wolfsburg haven't got a win in the last 5 competitive games against Augsburg. So Augsburg fancy their chances against Wolfsburg. The hosts on the back of that one win over Dortmund. Back-to-back actually got, 5 clean sheets on the spin have Augsburg. Wolfsburg, they're on the back of the 1-1 draw. So very defensively sound Wolfsburg here. What are we looking at? What are we looking at here? Of course, it is Augsburg. It's very tight between the books. This could be a 0-0 on this one, but I'm going to go the 1-1 in the end. But clean sheet subordinates for Augsburg. Werder Bremen, they're up against my boys Borussia Mönchengladbach. That's right, coming to the Weserstadion. Bremen and Oliverna sit 12th right now, 33 points for the season. Up against Gladbach, who are 9th with 37 points. Just one win though in the last 3 for Gladbach compared to Bremen. Just one win in the last 6. They played 61 times since 1992. 23 wins for Bremen, 24 wins for Gladbach. There's been 14 draws. Last time around over at Wasserstadion, it was a 2-2 draw back in May 2024. Gladbach, they're bigger before, win at the Borussia Park back in November. Bremen on the back of that 2-0 win over Leverkusen. That was, of course, this weekend. Gladbach losing 3-1 to Mainz. Also this weekend. The odds for this one, Bremen are fancied their chances on this one by the bookies on this one. It could go either way. I'm also going to sit on the fence with the 1-1 draw, but hopefully Gladbach get back to winning ways. I'm going with the 1-1 in the end. Leipzig against Dortmund, Ding Dong Classic at the RB Arena. And as of right now, final score is in. It is 0-0, I believe. Between Freiburg and Leipzig, unless it changes. I think it's into stoppage time. Anyway, Leipzig under Marco Rosa, 58% form, just one defeat in the last 6. They sit 7 right now, 38 points up against Dortmund. Nico Kovac, also one defeat in the last 6. Dortmund got Champions League reckoning on the horizon. Big game for them. Maybe focusing on that one as well. They're coming at you with 10th spot right now. Played Leipzig 19 times since 2016. It is the Marco Rosa derby. 8 wins for Leipzig, 9 wins for Dortmund. There's been 2 draws last time around at Leipzig. 4-1 win as it was back in April 2024. The reverse fixture at Signal under De Parco was a 2-1 win for Dortmund back in November. Dortmund losing to Augsburg, hot to trot. Leipzig on the back of that draw, looks like, will 0-0 against Freiburg. The odds for this one, what are we looking at? Leipzig, of course, fancied their chances, but only just. Dortmund got priorities to attend it. I'm going 3-2 winners. Rosa over his old boys, Dortmund, in the end. Bochum taking on Frankfurt into Sunday's matches. That's, of course, on March the 16th. The Vonovia Ruhrstadion. Bochum under Dieter Hecking. Just one defeat in the last 5. Up against Frankfurt under Dino Topmoller. They're on 50% form for them right now. 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. They sit 4th, 42 points for the campaign. And they played Bochum 30 times since 1992. 9 wins Bochum, 15 wins Frankfurt. There's been 6 draws. Last time around over at Bochum, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2023. The reverse fixture, a massive 7-2 win for Frankfurt back in November. Bochum picking up that 3-2 win over Bayern. Could be a morale-boosting victory, that one. Frankfurt did beat Ajax last time around. They're taking on Union Berlin tomorrow. So that's, of course, going to be one of those games that will affect the table. Bookies odds on this one. Frankfurt fancied on this one. Bochum, though, have their tails up. I think they might get something out of this one. I'm going to go with a cheeky 1-0 win to make it back-to-back wins and maybe boost their hopes to stick around in the Bundesliga. Into another Sunday match. It's Heidenheim, it's Holstein Kiel. It's the battle of the H's. That's right. Both sides struggling right now at the Voltaire Arena. Heidenheim under Frank Schmidt, winless in the last 4 up against Holstein Kiel under Marcel Rapp. Just one win in the last 6. They played 18 times since 2009. 8 wins for Heidenheim, 6 wins for Holstein Kiel. There's been 4 draws. Of course, Heidenheim down into 18th right now, 15 points for the campaign. Yet to play Hoffenheim. Meanwhile, Holstein Kiel on the back of that 2-2 draw against Stuttgart. Last time around, of course, over at this very venue, which of course is the Volta Arena, it was a 3-0 win for Heidenheim in the Zweite Bundesliga back in April 2023. The reverse fixture at Holstein Kiel was a 1-0 win for Holstein Kiel back in November. Of course, the home side has yet to lose this game. The last time they won, the away side was a 1-0 win for Heidenheim in Holstein Kiel back in February 2020 in the Zweite Bundesliga. The odds for this one, Heidenheim massively fancied, of course, on this one. Holstein Kiel, not so much. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one as well. Not draws for me this week. It's very undecisive because I just don't know. And then finally, Ding Dong Classic over at Stuttgart as Sebastian Hoeneß's boys, who are 8th. 37 points for the season, winless in the last 4, up against Leverkusen on back-to-back defeats right here, right now. Of course, they'll take on Bayern this midweek in the Champions League decider. Of course, they're heavily out-fancied on that one. This match will take place at the MHP Arena, and they played each other 65 times since 1992. 11 wins for Stuttgart, 40 wins for Leverkusen. There's been 14 draws. Last time around over at Stuttgart, it was a 1-1 draw way back in December 2023. That was in the last season. Meanwhile, this season, we have a 0-0 draw at the Bay Arena way back in November. Leverkusen losing to Bremen most recently. Back-to-back games now without a goal. Stuttgart could only draw against Holstein Kiel, of course. The odds right here, right now. Stuttgart unfancied. The bookies do back Leverkusen to bounce back. I'm also going with a bounce-back ability. 3-2 win. Goal fest on extraordinaire to maybe, just maybe, keep them in the mix for Champions League and the second spot right now. That's what their race is. That's my take on it, guys. Of course, this is what the table will look like, or there or thereabouts. So make sure you subscribe on that and get your predictions in using the link. That's it. Of course, until then, subscribe, smash the likes. Until then, we'll see you on the next side.